Welcome to October 2025. This is Halloween season. I'm not generally so Halloween centric, but I'm feeling the spirit this today because I keep seeing a lot of posts about it. Now, when I make these now page updates, I always kind of flip flop whether I make the video first or the blog post first, and it doesn't really matter, but I just want to express to you what's going on professionally and personally in my life. And October 1st is a weird month for me because I feel like it's still kind of like the first or second quarter of the year, but we're already in third quarter now. No, last quarter. We're in the last quarter. That's crazy. October, November, December. So it's interesting to me that this year has flown by so quick. I think that a lot of people probably agree on that regard, but overall, I'm excited because there's a lot of things to look forward to, including next week. I'm going to Vid Summit, which is the de facto YouTuber conference where people can network and meet and share ideas and learn. Now, I don't want to say egotistically, I don't think I'm going to learn a whole lot from the panels, but I'm going to try to. I'm going to try to keep an open mind because you never know what some of these big creators will talk about. But more importantly to me, I think the networking effect is going to be a lot cooler. Not only will I get a lot of cool people to interview on the creator channel that I do, but I also be able to meet a lot of people I probably look up to as well. And get to see some familiar faces from the last few conferences I went to. Later on in the month, I'm going with Cobra Kai Kid to Chicago to go to a conference there for him as well. And so that's going to be exciting. And this trip stressed me out, the Vid Summit one, because I didn't know what's going to happen with the hotel. I didn't know what's going to happen with the flights. I didn't know what's going to happen with my income because over the last couple months, I've been looking for jobs practically every day, and I'm applying to jobs left and right. But the job market's basically frozen right now. It's been that way for a while, but it's been getting worse and worse every year. I think that in the 2020s, that's going to be relatively documented just how bad everything was this decade when it came to jobs. And I'm not going to necessarily say who to blame for that is, but anyone watching in the future could probably guess from the history books why it is. And so it's one of those things where I'm trying to find some income in. Right now I only have karaoke, which is pretty sparse. I'm not doing it often enough. I wish I was, but I'm not going to take someone else's position unless they want to move on. And then I've also started going to Silver Ball karaoke, which has been fun, and seeing the people there, and just kind of a different environment, which is also cool. I met the owner and I met the DJ, and I gave him my number. So if they want to sub, maybe they can have me there too, which would be nice. So doing karaoke more often would be a nice income source. Content creation has definitely given me more and more over the years, but it's not consistent. It's not necessarily a whole lot, and so I need to work on doing that more. One thing I am excited about, though, is that to me, content is my professional life, so I'll express to you what's going on with that. On my Substack, which is a blogging platform, it is not just writing. I think a lot of people misconstrue that platform, like, oh, it's for newsletters, it's for blog posts, it's for, journals. It's actually the closest thing to an all-in-one platform that we got right now. And so you could do videos and podcasts and written content on there, even live streams, which are just videos, right? And it's really interesting to me. So I started making my content polymath channel, the creator channel, on there. So every time I post a video, I post it through there. So it goes on Substack, but it also gets sent over to YouTube automatically. Now, I've had some issues with that automation, but for the most part, at least it works. And then it cuts out the audio and makes that into a podcast, which is really cool. And then on top of that, it also has like clipping and live streaming and a network effect with the Substack Notes kind of Twitter-esque app. And so there's a lot of really cool things to it, and I'm starting to grow steadily on there. And I have one post scheduled out for the rest of the year, roughly. And I threw all those videos into Opus Clip, and now I have 180 clips. And so now I'm going to do 2 a day for the next 90 days, basically the last quarter of the year. And so basically I have content now scheduled out on the Creator channel for the rest of the year. So I need to work on the Polymath newsletter, and I also need to work on another tag on my website, another newsletter on there, and just schedule those out for the next 30 weeks or so, which I think will be, sounds a lot more work than it actually is, and I keep talking myself out of it. I've talked myself out of it all year. I did a bit of a sprint at the beginning of the year. I need to do another one just to get them out. I'm excited about, once that's out though, the prospect of what it could become. And personally, I've been stressed out, but I've been working out a lot. I've been getting a lot of physical progress, which is great. I'm excited about that. I might have mentioned this in previous Now Page updates, but I lost 7% body fat in about 40 days, which is a pretty fast rate. And I also have regained my muscle back and gained new muscle. So I've worked out for half my life, so 15 years. For the first 10 years or so, 12 years, I was focusing more on high rep, low weight. And then post-COVID, post-2021 especially, I started doing heavier weight. And so I started building up some more bulky muscle from the heavier weight, but I also had my old like endurance based muscle from the lighter weight. And now I was able to regain both and have a pretty quick recovery of that muscle. And then now that I'm working out hard again, I'm actually building more on top of that. So it makes me really happy about that. Other news, my bartering skills allowed me to get this mic. I'm not switched over just yet, but this mic has given me a lot of trouble over the years, especially with that cable, because it's micro USB. This is a nice USB-C cable, so I can actually use this mic without having to worry about the cable jacking up on me like this one. And what's really interesting is that I was able to barter for this microphone. In fact, practically everything I have here, I've got it on Marketplace. So even like this nice keyboard, I got on Marketplace. This keyboard is normally $200. I got it for 40. I have a Logitech Lite there, normally $50, 15, normally $100, 30, I think. The camera is actually, I got full price, but I managed to get like 20% off, I think, using a coupon. And then I got a portable monitor down here that normally is about $80. I got it for 50. And this microphone, though, it was really interesting because like this one, I was able to trade. So I had an old TV that I wasn't using and microphone and an arm. I was able to trade equally for the TV. This microphone, though, I had a Stream Deck that I bought for $20, normally $100, which is crazy to me how I found that deal. And I tried plugging it in, tried using it, never found a really great use case for it, wasn't actually willing to put in the effort to like set up the automations for it. And I never had enough USB ports on my mini PC, so I always just had it sitting there on my shelf for like a year or two. And then I was like, I saw this microphone, Elgato, nice. It's not like the fanciest mic, but it should fix my issues with this, particularly like the weight because this falls down a lot. And I was able to just trade that Stream Deck for this microphone. And so the microphone is not technically worth as much as a Stream Deck, but the Stream Deck to me was only $20. And then that is also more important to me right now because I need to replace this. This is also kind of big. This microphone's half the size. So when I want to downsize my technology as well, it allows me to I could probably bring this with me on the trip, for example, if I really wanted to. So overall, I'm pretty excited about a lot of these things, and I'm just excited to see what's coming next in life. I'm definitely a lot more relaxed today, but the last few days I was really stressed because I was trying to figure out having enough money for the trip, and I think that's going to work out now in the end. And other than that, I think that is it for today. Check out the blog post down below. I'm going to be linking it.